So over the last month, I watched a lot of traders follow a few YouTube sensations into battle with stocks like GME, AMC, and reported it right here on my YouTube channel. You know what I found? I found a lot of traders lost money within a few days. How do I know this? I'll tell you why. Because when you're a YouTube sensation and you lose 90% of your live audience within a matter of a week, something's definitely wrong. I'll also tell you this, they're not talking about GameStop anymore. No, these guys have turned to a new company called Riot Blockchain. In this video, I want to talk about what not to do with Riot Blockchain, as well as what I'm looking to do. So let's get going. Hey everyone, Tom Gentile. Welcome to Tom's Trading Room, where here we do not talk about hype or hope or wishing, or fear or greed, or any other type of crowd-based trading. We look to spot rules-based opportunities and teach you how to find alternative strategies other than simply buying and going long stock. So, in this video, I want to talk about Riot Blockchain, what not to do, as well as what is on my radar, so let's get going. So I think I'll start off with my video by mentioning that Bitcoin has now made new highs, trading above 50,000 per coin. It's been the highest price ever. In fact, this was my target for 2021, and we accomplished it more than 10 months early. So I'll be setting up new targets for Bitcoin and the other big alt currencies in a coming video. But let's get back to Riot Blockchain. Because, my big question, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, is this thing too hot to handle? The crowd's back. They're betting on cheap alt cryptos like Dogecoin and more recently Riot Blockchain as their next moonshot stock. My question is Riot overdone? Now it's nearly tripled in price and just in the last 2 weeks. And how to play this stock if you really want to own it, and of course how to short it if you don't. Now, if you've never heard of Riot Blockchain, you do not need to go much further than Google to find answers to the most popular questions. Number one, what is Riot Blockchain? It's a company that focuses on mining, on Bitcoin mining. They have over 6,000 Bitcoin miners, mining machines in New York, in the state of New York. They actually used to be a biotech firm, if you can believe that switched gears and switched names, and since then it is highly correlated to the price of Bitcoin. Now, is it a good investment in 2020? This was another thing that popped up, and more importantly in 2021. Zacks has it as a buy, and they expect that their growth is going to continue to move higher. This was as of December 30th, 2020, just a couple of months ago. Most importantly, who owns Riot Blockchain? Are there any big owners of the stock? And the biggest owner is the Vanguard Group. They own a stake of 3.88% as of my last check on it, which is just shy of 54 million shares. Now, let's move to the technicals of Riot Blockchain, and you'll see what all the hype is about. This stock, since the beginning of the year, was trading around the $15 to $25 range, popped up in the high 20s around mid-January, pulled back as well, but really gained steam last week when it shot up above 30. This was just last Monday. All right, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and today, Monday, the 16th, or Tuesday, the 16th, and we've gone from an area of the mid-20s up to above $60 per share. So the crowd has caught this. The Reddit crowd has caught it. The YouTube livers, the ones that I talked about several weeks ago that were pushing GME and AMC and left a lot of people holding the bag on those two stocks right now. They won't even comment on them anymore. Are now moving into alt currencies and Riot Blockchain, and it's pushing Riot Blockchain quite a bit. Now, the difference between Riot and a GME or an AMC is this is directly tied to something that's making new all-time highs. Now, it leads me to believe, well, when's the next pullback going to be? And it could be coming. We could get a monster move back in Bitcoin and in altcoins. To me, that just sets up a great buying opportunity. But what it could do is shake out a lot of traders that, we've seen this pattern before, folks. We saw this happen in GME. We saw this happen in AMC, where within 5 days, 6 days, we saw a big shot up, followed by another shot down. So we could come right back in to this $30 range, and it could happen rather quickly. So part of me believes that it could happen based on this next chart. This is a chart of implied volatility. This is what option traders look at when they determine price range, and more importantly, where they see future price range happening on a stock. Now, I find it interesting that until just a couple weeks ago, the short and long-term IVs were the same. That Riot Blockchain had a high IV across the board when it was trading below 200. But just 2 weeks ago, when we were at the end of January, coming into February, we saw a push up, and we saw the short-term IV, all right, that's the red and blue lines, get above this longer-term 90-day at-the-money IV. We had a pullback, but here's what happened in the last week. Now, long-term IV still sits below 200, but short-term IV is now shot up and is trading in the high 2s. In fact, the 7 to 30-day options are trading near 275. That's quite a bit of distance between the long-term option traders and the short-term option traders, which are basically saying the short-term move in Riot Blockchain is going to get a lot dicier than the longer-term moves. Now, the next thing I wanted to look at was, where's all the volume? Where's all the volume and open interest going on calls and puts just this week, this shortened trading week that we are in? If you look at the popular calls this week, they happen to be the Feb 19 50 calls. These are in-the-money calls. This is where all the open interest is right now coming into this week. But the most popular option as of today is the February 60 calls, which traded over 8,400 contracts recently. Now, the other chart that I have in the middle, this is the February 19th 50 call. As you can see, just 2 days ago, all right, when we were 2 trading days ago, this option was trading below 4. Now it is approaching 10. In fact, it's trading above that $10 range right now. And so you can see that the price just in the last 2 trading days has gone up considerably. But I want to show you something that I think is even more important. Look at the popular puts that are happening this week. The 50 puts, these are the out-of-the-money puts, are trading at $1.86. They have a volume recently of 3,895 contracts and open interest of 1,536. What this means is that these puts are closing up. All right, people are closing put positions when you see more volume than you do open interest. And that might be because just 2 days ago they were trading at the $10 and $11 range and have now come down to being worth $1.86. So anyone that was long those puts was losing money, but anyone that was short those puts making considerably more than the call buyers. The put sellers were making considerably more on the 50 puts than the call buyers were making on the 50 calls. A lot of that has to do with volatility. Again, volatility has shot through the roof. So anyone that's buying this stock or anyone that's shorting this stock better grab a hold of the seat of your pants, because it is going to move around a lot according to the option traders. If you're buying call options, you are overpaying in premium by a considerable amount. If you're buying puts, same thing. The best ways to play this volatility, and I've said it before, and I have to say it again, sell, sell, sell. I don't mean sell the stock. I mean selling the options premium. If you're bullish and you really want to own the stock, perhaps selling puts on it makes more sense than buying the stock. You can get a fantastic premium, even with just a few days to expiration. If you go out and look at the longer term options, they offer some considerably more premium to sell those puts. You could also sell put spreads if you don't want to own the stock and you want a less costly way to create a high probability trade, a high statistical probability trade. Finally, and I'll say if you're bearish, you could sell call spreads. And call spreads allow you to sell calls above the stock price when your expectation is that it is going to turn around and move lower. You would look to capture premium on the call spread side. If you really think it's going to sit in an area in an area where, let's say, You think it's going to be below 60 but above 40. Maybe selling put spreads and call spreads could work the best. All right. Hey, talking points on Riot. This thing is doing the same thing that GME and AMC did. So I would expect pretty much a similar outcome. Riot Blockchain has risen much, much faster than Bitcoin, especially in the last week when Bitcoin has gone from around 48,000 to the 50,000 area back to 48, and yet Riot Blockchain has doubled in value. Something's got to give. Prices bounce around fast, so I use limit orders when I want to get my price. And like I've said before, there are no guarantees, but selling options premium offers a higher probability of profit to risk than buying or shorting the stock. Hey, thanks for joining me. If you found this educational, please hit the like button. It helps support the channel. Subscribe to our videos. You'll get the next one as soon as it's updated. And I'll see you then. Bye now.